Hey guys, we are going to be trying out the new Valentino Beauty products. I purchased a whole bunch off of their site. If you caught my haul video yesterday, you saw what I purchased, but it's pretty much a full face. I have their foundation, I have their powder, their bronzer, I have 2 of their eye to cheek products, which is a blush and or an eyeshadow. I did also get their eyeshadow palette, and I did purchase 1 lipstick and their mascara. So almost a full face, pretty much a full face, but let's go ahead and get started with the foundation. So here is the box packaging that the foundation comes in. It is called the Very Valentino Light Lasting Perfecting Foundation. It has a broad spectrum SPF 26. Oh wow, I don't think I've ever seen 26. Anyway, 26, and I got it in the shade LN2, and maybe a little bit too light for me, but we're gonna go with it. And the SPF in here is split between octinoxate and titanium dioxide. So we have a mixture of chemical and physical sunscreen. So I'm gonna go ahead and shake it. Oh, it does say shake well before use. And I've got my BK Beauty 101 brush here. And I apologize, I really wanted to do a wear test of all of this for you, but I'm getting a very late start to filming today. It's almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I just wanted to get this video up for you guys. I rarely get as many inquiries about a beauty line as I have about the Valentino beauty line, so I just want to get this video up there. So again, I apologize that I'm not going to be able to do like a really decent wear test, but I'm sure I'll be able to report back probably later on this month to let you know how it does wear, and you know, I'm sure I'm going to be wearing it more. So here is the foundation. It's actually quite runny. I'm afraid to hold my hand up. It's pretty runny, and yeah, I think the shade is really, really light. But let's see, if it doesn't have a really heavy coverage, it should be fine. So I'm just gonna pick some up with the brush. There's no real fragrance or anything, it just kind of smells like makeup. And I'm just gonna apply it to half of my face so we can get a comparison going between the 2 sides of my face. And I did want to get the primer from this line, but it was sold out. So we are just putting this over some SPF and my skincare from earlier today. Yeah, I think if I were to go on the site and purchase a different shade, I would get maybe 1 or 2 shades deeper. It's okay because I did put it on really lightly, but I think if I were to build this up, it would start to look a little odd. But I am going to apply a little bit more around where I need a little bit more help, just to see if we can build up. I used very little of the foundation, by the way, to get this level of coverage, which is nice. And before I forget, all the prices for these products will be listed down below in my description box, because I can never remember. So that is all the foundation I used for this half of my face, and pretty good coverage. I would say this foundation very easily will give you a medium coverage. And it really sets down nicely too. It doesn't feel tacky or sticky on the skin. And I feel like it left me with a nice skin-like finish. I don't feel like I look particularly radiant. I don't feel like I look particularly matte. It just looks very natural. Let me go ahead and finish applying. I'm just gonna apply to this side of my face. And I can't even remember right now if they didn't have a concealer or if they didn't have my shade. I'm wondering why I don't have a concealer. Maybe they didn't come out with one. And it's okay, because since this foundation is buildable, just putting it where I would normally apply concealer, and I think it's doing a nice job actually, kind of really evening out that skin tone. All right, there it is all over. I think actually this shade is gonna be great in the winter time when I have 0 tan and probably not self-tanning at all. I really like the finish, and I really like how it's sitting on my skin. Like, it doesn't look like it's just sitting on top. It doesn't look very mask-like. Let me go ahead and zoom in. I'm just gonna zoom into my forehead and then pan down so you guys can get a close look at everything. But it looks really great like around my eyes. It's not, you know, sinking into fine lines. It's not really kind of emphasizing dryness, which I have around my eyes. It's looking good around my nose. And I do have texture along my jawline, and I don't really see that. It's not really, it's not like it's picking up on there or anything. So far so good. All right, next up I have the Go Clutch On The Move Perfecting Powder Soft Matte Radiance. And I have it in the shade 02 Light. I was so intrigued by this product after taking a look at it and swatching it in my haul video. I cannot wait to get this on my face because I thought, it could be like a very subtle highlighter. So here is the packaging. It comes in this compact. It also comes with this chain that you can attach here and wear it if you want. And this is meant for one of their clutch size lipsticks, which I didn't purchase. I got like a regular size of their lipstick. So here is the powder, and it actually opens up for a brush. So there is a mirror in the compact here. And here's a swatch of the powder. It's always hard to swatch powder since it's skin color, but it does have a really beautiful sheen, and I think you can see it here in the swatch. Because of this really beautiful sheen, I wonder if this powder would actually make for a better finishing powder. I'm gonna try it as a setting powder today, so I do have my Chikuhodo GSN 1 brush. I think it's the GSN 1 brush. I'm gonna go into the powder. It has like such a creamy feel in the pan. And when you look at the powder, also the same with the bronzer and some of the eyeshadows, they almost look spongy. And so it picks up very easily on a brush. I'm just gonna start here under my eyes. And I'm just gonna pat. Again, I'm just gonna do this half of my face and we'll see if we see any kind of difference or whatever. All right, so there is the powder applied to this half of my face. And I feel like it's just done a really lovely job. Because it has such a sheen to it, I do feel like it has set my makeup completely. Like there's like zero tack to my face right now. But it doesn't look dry or powdery, but it's taken away, like I have a little bit of like shininess like here, just regular shininess. And I feel like it's dampened that, but it's left like a really pretty sheen, the sheen that you see in the powder. Oh, it looks really nice. I was afraid because it's such a creamy powder, I thought maybe it was gonna look a little bit thick on my face, thick on my skin, and it doesn't. It actually looks like a very light powder. Okay. I'm very impressed so far. So just applying to the rest of my face here. And another plus is I don't feel like it's like altering the shade of my foundation. Again, with a powder that's so creamy, I thought there was gonna be a little bit of pigmentation in there and maybe deepen up my foundation a little because it is a little bit more golden than my foundation, but I don't think it's changed up the shade of my foundation at all. Next, let's move on to bronzer. So I got the On The Move Universal Bronzer, and I just got the refill. And the refill, I believe, would go into a compact like this. I didn't need that many of those compacts, so I just opted for the refill. And it does come in a really nice case. And here is the bronzer, and it opens up to a brush as well. So this, just like the powder, it has this kind of spongy appearance to it. And when you put your finger in to swatch it, it is really creamy. So here is a swatch of the bronzer. It seems to be a shade that's gonna work really well for my skin tone. I'm very excited. So I've got my Refer 22 brush. Just gonna go in just a few taps. This brush picks up a lot of product. And just start underneath my cheekbone here. And at my temples. Oh, I went to look into the mirror of the refill. There's no mirror in there. Let me pull out the powder. Well, I love how it's blending. I love that slight sheen. Again, very slight kind of satin sheen. And the tone of this, I would say it's pretty neutral. It's a hint warm, I would say, from what I can tell. A little bit of warmth to it. Really nice though. Yeah, it's just applying really easily, very effortlessly. It looks really seamless on the skin. And I'm realizing, like the face powder and this bronzer, they're so creamy. I feel like they're kind of like melting on the skin, which is why I feel like they're almost not really leaving a trace. It's why they look so like blended in immediately. Really, really lovely. Okay, I'm still really impressed so far with everything. So that's foundation, powder, and bronzer. Let's move over to those eye and cheek products. So I purchased 2 of these. A lot of the more, you know, kind of traditional blush shades were sold out. So I decided to go for ones that were quite different for me. The first one is 03 Rosa Emozione. This shade is like a soft lilac shade with a golden like shift to it. It's so, so pretty. So that is one. And then the other one I got called Bright Dream is really interesting. It's a very warm, like golden kind of shade. It's too deep for me to use as a highlight. I think if you have a deeper skin tone than me, medium to deep, you could probably use this as a highlight. But I thought this would be pretty on the eyes. I thought maybe this could be a nice blush topper. I didn't realize that the Rosa Emozione one, I didn't realize that this had such a strong shift to it. So I think I'm gonna save this either for another day or for my eyes, but I did also get the eyeshadow palette. So I'm gonna stick with 03 right now. And I've got my Surratt cheek brush. And just gonna place it on the apples of my cheeks here. Wow, look at that sheen. Do you guys see that? This really would be a great highlight, I think. Wow. And this lilac color is so pretty. Ooh, I'm kind of glad the more traditional shades were out of stock. Otherwise, I think I probably would have passed on this one. Ooh, but that's so pretty. It's different for me. That golden sheen is striking. Wow, okay. Well, it's a good thing I didn't get a highlighter. I don't even know if a highlighter was available. I mean, this blush takes care of all of that business. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows because I didn't buy any Valentino brows. Again, I'm not sure if there was a brow product available, but I'll be right back. Okay, now for eyes, I have the Color Flip Multi-Look Eye Palette, Win in Roma. And this palette has like 2 separate quads. So when you open it up, and it came with 2 little brushes. I took them out because they kept falling out. We've got these 4 shades, and then when you flip it open, you've got 4 more shades. So let me go ahead and do swatches of all 8 shades. I'm gonna start with the top, and I'm gonna go in clockwise order for both quads. So first we have Rosso, which is a satin, Bronze, which is a shimmer, Dusk, which is a satin shade, and Palazzo, which is a matte shade. And then the next 4, we have Gold, which is a top shimmer, Pearl, which is a top shimmer, Narrow, which is a base, and Poudre, which is a base. So on the box, it says, prep eyelids with your base shadow of choice. So that would be the last 2 swatches that I did, the Narrow and the Poudre. Apply and blend up to 4 Valentino colors. Just 4, no more than that. And number 3, top off your look with a touch of dazzling shimmers, which is that golden pearl that I swatched. Okay, well, I guess for me, I am going to use this base color. We're not doing a really smoky evening look, otherwise I would choose the black color, but I'm gonna go in with this shade here. And I've got my Worker 2 brush from Sonia G. And just applying this all over. The shade is very, very close to my skin tone. It's maybe a little bit deeper, a little bit warmer. But these shadows are incredibly, incredibly creamy, just like their other powders. The powder, the bronzer, those blushes that you can use on your eyes, like all incredibly, incredibly creamy. They almost feel wet when you touch them. Okay, so that base color is applied. Next, I'm gonna go in with this matte shade here. This is Palazzo. And just gonna apply this all over my lid. Ooh, really beautiful. applying really beautifully. I don't see any fallout. I've got my Trish McEvoy number 99 brush. This is for tight eyelining. I'm gonna go into the narrow base color here and use this kind of as eyeliner. Wow, this shadow really behaves like a cream shadow. I'm gonna take my Refer number 2 brush and smudge out this eyeshadow a little bit. Wow, that is like really, really easy to use black eyeshadow. All right, and then I think I'm just gonna add a top shimmer here. I'm gonna add this one, which is Pearl, and I'm just gonna use my finger and I'm gonna add it to the inner, whoa, add it to the inner corner of my lid here. I think I should have used a brush. Oh, I see a little fallout from that. Let me try using a brush and see what happens. I'm gonna use this Crease 1. Yeah, Crease 1 brush from Sonia G. Actually, I like the impact from my finger more. This side looks a little brighter than the brush side. So I'm gonna go in with my finger again. Definitely have some fallout from that shimmer shade. Those also don't feel quite as soft in the pan as the other types of shades. I guess that's to be expected since they're glittery. So I was gonna stop right there, but I wanna try one of their satin shades. I'm gonna go in with Dusk, this deep brown shade here. And I'm going in with a kind of a fluffy blending brush. This is the Trish McEvoy 29 tapered blending brush. And I'm gonna go into Dusk. I just pressed the brush in there once. Just want to add a little dimension. Wow, that was just from one tap. And that satin sheen is very pretty. I'm just taking my Sonia G Detail Pro brush and just running it over the Dusk shade. Wow, the pigmentation is lovely. That was literally one tap into the pan for that. So nice, okay. Again, impressed so far with these products. What's next? Oh, the mascara. Let's try the mascara. So this is the Striking Volume Mascara All Day Wear. Intense volume. So here is the packaging. And did I say this already in this video? I know I said it in the haul video, but the packaging is really light. It just doesn't feel expensive, unfortunately. Okay, let me go ahead and curl my lashes and let's see what this wand looks like. Oh, it's a big fluffy brush. Okay, it looks fine. I don't know if there's anything terribly special about it, but my lashes look nice. My curl is still there, which is really nice. Okay, that's the mascara, not bad, not bad. All right, let's move on to the lipstick. So this is the Striking Satin Lip Color Light Lasting Wear, and I got it in the shade 100R Roman Grace. And here is the packaging on that. And again, the design is very pretty, but it just looks a little cheap. So here is Roman Grace. And here is a swatch of it. It is really, really moisturizing feeling as I swatch it on the back of my hand. But let me go ahead and apply some. I just glide right on. There is a fragrance to this. It is kind of fruity, maybe a really light floral, but I'm smelling more of like maybe like a fruitiness. I'm not familiar with Valentino scents, so maybe it's based off of one of their one of their scents, one of their fragrances. It's not bad, it's light. I am not someone that likes fragrance on the lips, and this isn't bad. I feel like I don't smell it once I get it on my lips. I don't taste anything. It's just when I was applying, I could smell it. Really beautiful formula, glided right on. It feels really silky soft, but it doesn't feel overly silicone-y. Like sometimes lipsticks that have a lot of silicone in, they have that like slip to them. This one has that slip to it, but it doesn't feel like it's like just pumped up with silicones. So that is the shade Roman Grace. All right, well that is all the stuff that I got at Valentino, except for that one eye to cheek color in Bright Dream. Just couldn't manage to get that on my face today, but I'll use that in a future video. I'm really, really impressed with everything so far. It's hard for me to say regarding the foundation because I feel like it'll prove itself to me if I wear it and it just looks nice, you know, throughout the day. Everything else is really lovely. The powder, the bronzer, the blush. This color blush is like so incredible. The eyeshadows perform really nicely. I just love how creamy everything is. I feel like these are all like cream products disguised as powder products. They're just really incredible. I would say the mascara and the lipstick, maybe a skip. Like, I don't think there's anything terribly special about either formula. And then in terms of packaging, both of these feel and look a little cheap. But yeah, everything else I think is really, really nice. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.